Welcome to the Solemn Vanguard channel. Today we're doing my standard Oracle Think Tank deck profile. And as always, these beautiful zero damage gaming playmats will be available at the link in the description. I guess the first thing we start with is our protect gift markers. Of course, we want our Misaki best girl markers. If not, why are you even playing Oracle? Anyway, I did really like her storyline in the anime. Regardless, Misaki protect markers 10, because we are running 10 grade 3s. For grade 3s, we are running 4 Imperial Daughter, the VR. You never want to ride her first, you want to ride her after CEO Amaterasu. She's the boss monster of the deck basically. She has this break ride skill where if you ride her on top of a grade 3, she gets extra power and a crit. She also filters the deck, adds to your hand, just a great card overall. The second skill doesn't come that in handy that often, but the first skill is really good. And as you can also see, she's featured on this playmat. Next up is for CEO Amaterasu. You want her to be your first ride. She's kind of like Imperial Daughter light when it comes to that. That's why we still run her at 4, but generally we want to go CEO and then go into Imperial. Next up, the finisher of the deck, Victorious Deer. This whole deck is basically running CEO, all the CEOs and the Imperials, until your opponent is so withered down and you're ready to go for that kill turn with Victorious Deer. So basically once this guy comes in, crits, power, anything you could ever ask for. Then we have 4 Promise Daughter, just a not retirable beat stick. Because you filter the deck quite much, you do see quite some triggers, and so your hand will have quite some triggers, and you also run many grade 3s that you actually want to be re-riding the whole time. So Promise Daughter is this sticky kind of a rear guard you can really fall back on and want to have here as soon as possible, because then she's hard to get rid of and she's just your beat stick that you use every turn whilst keeping on re-riding to then set up for Victorious Deer. Next up we run 3 of this filter girl. Enough said, she just filters. 2 of her, she also filters. She's actually strictly better than her, but she has a cost, and so you kind of want to balance things out. Apart from that, we are able to run these odd numbers because you plus so much and you dig through the deck so fast that this is one of those decks where you can actually run these other numbers. You will see them pretty likely anyway. And then the one tech, as I said, I actually don't like running techs, but this deck goes through the deck so fast and this thing is so good. Just gonna give you an example. Let's say you used CEO Amaterasu, right? And so at the top, you find this card that is not a trigger, but you do want it in your hand. That's an issue because you're not gonna put it on the top because then you're decreasing your trigger chances. But if you put it on the bottom, you lose it. So this card is an interesting tech where you keep it in your hand, you don't use it just to plus because you minus as well, that there's no point. But let's say with CEO Amaterasu, you find your Promise Daughter. You're like, okay, I don't want this on the top of my deck, I want to check triggers. I'm gonna send this to the bottom, use him, get this to my hand. And that way, even the less than ideal situations become pretty good. Now, since we are running that card, this girl actually becomes even better than she already was. So not only does she plus you when you ride on her, kinda like the Forerunner but with a cost, you can also drive check something, put it on the bottom of your deck and draw something else. So if you're like, this Promise Daughter, okay, she's pretty nice, but I kind of need something else right now, maybe a grade 3 for next turn, or maybe even more guard from some trigger, you can put that on the bottom, knowing next turn I can use him to get it back. Then we have 4 of this grade 1 filter girl, just also really good, basically the grade 1 version of this girl right here. This deck really thrives on getting that filtering going, making sure you hit those triggers, and then you have the 1 grade 2 to get something back if you feel like that's necessary. 3 of the Vanguard booster, because as you know we filter so much, we're gonna get some triggers, and so if that number of the Vanguard gets higher. That's only good for us. Beyond that, other decks don't actually dig through the deck that fast, so they often don't have PGs all the time. Then 2, Luck Bird. Basically some hand filtering becomes a bigger booster. We don't want to run more than 2 because you're not going to get this off 3 times in a row. And then for triggers, well, we don't have many options, you know. We have our 4 crits, 4 bird crits. These are more important, you hit these more often. And then 4 draw PGs, because draw PGs, and 4 heals. I don't think you will see any other kind of trigger lineup, very unlikely at least. And then we end the profile with Best Girl. Well, sorry, actually Misaki is Best Girl, but inside the deck this is Best Girl, our Forerunner Lozenge Magus. So that is basically it for the deck profile. Hope you enjoyed. I will see if I can get some games of this deck on the channel sometime soon. I can't promise anything. I've also got that Mega Colony video coming up. The thing is, there's gonna be tournaments for Standard in Japan with those cards soon, so I don't know if it's even worth it. Let me know, maybe I still do it. Regardless, this was my OTT Standard deck profile. Pretty hyped for this. It's pretty fun to play actually. It's not as intensive as Premium, I will say that for sure, but it's different. It's nice to bring new people in. And also, as I said, Best Girls. If you enjoyed, please subscribe to the Solemn Vanguard channel, this channel that is. Like, leave a comment, let me know if I should build some other standard decks or premium decks. What do you want to see? Use the code REBOOT to pick up your Zero Damage Gaming playmats at the link in the description, and I will see you soon. Ciao!